Hello and welcome to my review of the dreaded Final Fantasy X-2. Let's just get one thing out of the way. A lot of people dislike this game, and the reason being is the story is the most cheesy, frilly excuse for a Final Fantasy story that I have ever heard in my life. It revolves around Yuna finding a sphere of Titus and going around the world, meeting old friends and trying to find him. Pretty much the game is almost devoid of any story as far as it being taken seriously goes. For example, the beginning of the game revolves around Yuna playing a pop concert. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound appealing to me or the normal Final Fantasy fan. But I gotta say, regardless of how junky the story is, I don't even want to get into detail about it. It's just not serious. But that is not what this game is about. This game is about having fun, fluid combat, job systems displayed in an interesting way, and a tongue-in-cheek Charlie's Angels atmosphere. And hey, who the fuck is this? Oh, it's Kamari. What the fuck's up, motherfucker? Obviously, a lot of the Final Fantasy X characters are gonna make a comeback. So, you can count on to see Waka, Kamari. You don't see Auron, which kind of sucks ass. Lulu, she's in it, and a lot of the minor characters in the old game, like Chapu and all that shit. So they all make a comeback, and that makes it fun. But let's get into what makes this game a real fucking game. The battle system. It is so smooth. How this game came... They literally... I feel like they revolutionized ATB. They made it so fluid, so action-packed, that, look, she's just rolling up and everybody's attacking at the same time. Bam! Get down. What the fuck's going on here? They just go as quick as possible. I mean, the game just doesn't let up as far as, speed and action goes. I mean, that battle was done right away. Harder battles will definitely challenge you. I mean, not the final boss. One thing I gotta say about Final Fantasy, Square Enix, if you ever watch this shit, make your final bosses what they're supposed to be. Hard as fuck. Don't make Omega Weapon the hardest boss, but you don't have to fight him. I want to fight the hardest guy in the game. I want this to be a challenge. I walked through the final boss in this game, just like Final Fantasy 12, just like Final Fantasy 10, and well, Final Fantasy 9 was a little difficult, but ever since Final Fantasy 8, I'd say that the bosses in Final Fantasies are just fucking amateurs, and we're not counting 11 though. 11 was just impossible about MMO. I mean, it was, as far as the difficulty scale goes, that was out of control. But the job system in the game, in regards to leveling up, I mean, same as any other Final Fantasy. Level up, get stronger, find new abilities. You get AP points according to a job that you do that allow you to do things like this Bushido fireworks to go ahead and attack everybody, steal and all that stuff. You can steal different stuff, and all these different maneuvers in regards to ability points and all that shit. So that's always fun, when your characters are doing all that stuff. I personally like it. I think it's a little, it's tradition. That's the thing. It's traditional. But this is the thing about Final Fantasy X-2. It's tradition with a twist. They try to give it a little refreshment, and I'd say that they succeeded wildly. I mean, it's so much fun to play. I mean, if you're not paying attention to the story, and you really don't. I mean, you can figure out what's going on. Every other word, they'll just say, "Oh, sphere, Titus, some chick," and you're like, okay, whatever, who gives a shit? All the minor characters, whatever. But another cool thing is, let's say, oh fuck, I'm getting worked. I can't be a samurai anymore. Well, look at this. Oh, I can change? You know what? Oh, she just died. Oh my god, that was a little not cool. You know what? Let's make her shoot the fuck out of these guys, and you just get down. So she can go ahead and change in the middle of a battle, which I'm gonna have her do right now. She's just gonna go, boom, I'm changing my clothes. These are always flashy. I really don't change my dress spheres a lot, so I really don't give a shit. when this happens. But some people complained that when you did this all the time, it just got really trying after a while. And that's another cool thing when you use like specific abilities, you know, like trigger happy for the gunner and all that stuff. It can be really fun because I have to press R1 as many times as possible. So bam, 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 which makes a little, you know, it gives something more. You know, there's really not much else to say about this game. The voice acting, oh my god. If you want to talk about the worst voice acting, I swear to god that this should take the cake. You thought 10 was bad. 10-2 was just atrocious. I don't even want to, like, think about it. Like, can you imagine if somebody, like, pauses, like, you know, for a millisecond in between, like, every word, but not a millisecond, like a half a second. Like, what are we doing today? It feels like a robot, man. You know, one thing that I gotta say is they kind of went Grand Theft Auto on this game, in a sense that you can go anywhere you want. And the only thing you really have to, I mean, I'll show you right here. And right away, you get your airship. And with your airship, you can go Beacon Island, you can go Kilikapur, you can go to the Thunder Plains right away. You don't have to do anything first, you can go there. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be something to do there. That just means that you can do it. So if I want to, look, I can pick anything right here. I'm on chapter 2, but you know there's 5 chapters in total, and you can go anywhere. It doesn't really matter. That makes it a little fun. And there's almost every place you go though, there's a side quest. So what this game does is it takes away from the main story and put side quests in there, you know, just so you can like find out what's going on with the other characters. Like, oh, don't you want to know what happened to Waka and Lulu? Like, what the fuck? But you know, it's not enough to make up for like the main storyline being completely atrocious. I don't even know where I want to go right now. But the cool thing about this game is this game has max replay value. I think it does, because I'm going to do a soft reset here. Because you get the New Game Plus, and I think New Game Plus is the coolest. But when you do New Game Plus, you don't get your levels, you get your Just Spheres. So if you wanted to try the game over again and say, hey, what would it be like if I was a Dark Knight in the beginning of the game? That would be awesome. And you can start off right away with the Dark Knight, and I think that was really fun, because I went through the game once, you know, did whatever I wanted to. Second time, I went through as fast as possible. I just pounced through it. I was trying to beat the record, like, you know. And the third time, I did everything. It was just that much fun. I mean, and every time I beat it, it only took me, like, 10, 15 hours. You know, when I did everything, it was like 25, 28 or something like that. It wasn't that bad. I mean, if I had to combine though, I'd say playability, 8 on this game. If I had to say, based on the story, I'd give it a 5. So let's just go ahead and give it a 6.5. The game's alright. The new crazy JRPG thing is just, might not sit well with a lot of natural gamers. It sits decently with me. I like the flashy music, and they've got like a funk tune when you're on the bridge of the airship Celsius, and the game is just meant to be fun. It's not meant to be like a big deal, like a serious affair. And I think it's good that they decided to take a breath of fresh air with this. And I feel like that Square Enix is gonna be doing that with a lot of direct sequels to the game. With Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings, it was completely unserious. And I thought it was this game is a good game. Try it out, rent it, look at some videos on YouTube. You might like it, who knows? But anyways, thank you for watching. All right, later.